Hi, Crystal. Thank you for sharing your honesty when you were talking about sustainment and you were talking about the data folders that you worked on with your students and how you were very excited about it. But then as you had new students come in, it became more difficult and challenging to get them set up and teaching them how to use them because you had already covered all that probably quite thoroughly at the beginning of the school year. Um, I know that when we use them with the elementary level, we used them several years ago and we were excited and we had all this stuff in them and we started off really strong using them. And then as the year went on, it became more and more difficult to remember to get those out and to do them with fidelity. And so it was something that kind of dwindled away until we had to come back the next year, or at the end of the school year, we reflected on how did we use these, what worked, what didn't work. And for us, we found out we had way too much stuff in there that we were trying to accomplish. And so as a group, we were able to collaborate with other grade levels, with administrators, and find that we need to really focus on certain things that need to go in that data folder for our students to have so that they could create goals for themselves. So I think that, even you reflecting on this is what I could have done differently or better, I think that is just as important to the sustainability. I know that also with sustainability, it's always challenging as we go from one school year to another how certain things might be implemented but it may not carry over to the next year, and for some reason those things fade away. And I think that's why it's always important to have those discussions and times where we're reflecting on what we're doing, and so I appreciated you mentioning that as well. I like that you also recognized the whole class suffers when everybody's not participating, and that includes with adults as we come together to work and prepare for our lessons or to prepare for something happening in our campuses. How if we're not all working together, then somebody is suffering. We're all, it does affect the team, just as somebody not doing their part on a basketball team, it affects our campus and our schools when all the teachers aren't doing their part or when one person is trying to do everything and not sharing responsibilities. Um, so I appreciated you pointing that out as well. I think you also mentioned allowing growth in leaders. I worked for an assistant principal who she would always find strengths in all the staff, and she would use their strengths to help them model and be leaders. And I think that's something as literacy leaders in our schools, that's something we can strive to do as well. Thank you for sharing your thoughts.